Developments across diplomacy, border management, and economic policy continue as Pakistan engages on multiple fronts amid rising regional tensions linked to the ongoing conflict involving Iran. Pakistan and China have jointly issued a 5-point initiative aimed at restoring peace and stability in the Gulf and the wider Middle East. The announcement followed a one-day visit to Beijing by Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq at the invitation of Chinese Foreign Minister Wang. According to Pakistan's Foreign Office, both sides reviewed the situation in the Gulf and Middle East and called for the immediate cessation of hostilities, alongside urgent efforts to prevent the conflict from spreading further. The joint initiative also stressed the need to allow humanitarian assistance to reach all war-affected areas without delay. Pakistan and China urged all relevant parties to begin peace talks as soon as possible, emphasizing that dialogue and diplomacy remain the only viable means of resolving conflicts. The statement underscored the importance of safeguarding the sovereignty, territorial integrity, national independence, and security of Iran and Gulf states. Both countries also called for strict protection of civilians and non-military targets during military operations. They urged all parties to fully adhere to international humanitarian law and immediately stop attacks on civilian infrastructure, including energy facilities, desalination plants, power installations, and peaceful nuclear infrastructure such as nuclear power plants. The initiative further highlighted concerns over maritime security, particularly in the Strait of Hormuz, described as a vital global shipping route for goods and energy supplies. Pakistan and China called for ensuring the safety of ships and crew members, allowing safe passage for civilian and commercial vessels, and restoring normal navigation through the strait as soon as possible. The final point of the initiative emphasized strengthening multilateral cooperation and reinforcing the primacy of the United Nations, supporting efforts to establish a comprehensive peace framework based on the UN Charter and international law. During meetings held in Beijing, both foreign ministers reviewed bilateral relations and reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening the Pakistan-China all-weather strategic cooperative partnership as the two countries mark the 75th anniversary of diplomatic ties this year. Discussions also focused on advancing economic cooperation, including development under CPEC 2.0, and enhancing coordination at multilateral forums. China also stated it would strengthen cooperation with Pakistan regarding the Iran situation and continue strategic coordination aimed at advocating peace. Iranian ambassador to Pakistan Reza Amir Moghadam welcomed Islamabad's diplomatic initiatives, appreciating Pakistan's efforts to help restore stability in the region. Separately, Pakistan recently hosted a four-country meeting involving Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt, where foreign ministers emphasized de-escalation and dialogue and supported efforts toward structured negotiations between Washington and Tehran. Officials confirmed that indirect exchanges between the United States and Iran are continuing through message relays rather than direct contact. Meanwhile, at Pakistan's western border, the Torkham crossing in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa has reopened for the repatriation of undocumented Afghan nationals after a temporary suspension caused by a firing incident from the Afghan side. Officials said the repatriation resumed following meetings between border authorities from both countries, who agreed on mechanisms to ensure smooth returns. The first batch of approximately 220 Afghan nationals crossed back into Afghanistan under supervision of security officials. The reopening also marked the first meeting between border security personnel from both sides since October last year, signaling improved coordination and goodwill. On the economic front, Pakistan's finance ministry has warned that rising global oil prices linked to the US-Israel war on Iran could pose risks to Pakistan's import bill and broader macroeconomic conditions. In its monthly economic update and outlook, the ministry projected inflation for March 2026 to remain between 7.5 and 8.5%. Despite geopolitical uncertainties, the ministry described the near-term economic outlook as cautiously optimistic, citing improving industrial activity, strong remittance inflows, and growth in information technology exports. Authorities said measures such as maintaining petroleum reserves, managing energy demand, and fiscal discipline were being pursued to protect economic stability.